Om Gam Ganapatye Namaha, Kaliyugada Kalpataru, Fourth Delight, Sri Vyasa Yati Sarvabhouma. Chapter 54, The Udupi Pilgrimage. One day, Emperor Achyutadevaraya visited Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu and said, Gurudeva, your esteemed disciple, the Venerable Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu, has sent a personal invitation requesting your presence at the Paryaya ceremony at the Krishna Mata, which he will soon be presiding over. He has also written a letter of invitation and address to you. Our revered Sri Vyasa Yogendra, in it, he earnestly requests you to grace the event and ensure its success with your presence. I have come to convey his message, and as per his wishes, I am ready to follow your instructions. Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu responded, O King, Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu, one of my most beloved disciples, is a great scholar and saint. He has invited us to the Paryaya, and it is our desire to visit the sacred land, which is not only the birthplace of Sri Madhvacharya, but also the foundation of the Dvaita philosophy. By visiting this holy place, offering our prayers to Lord Sri Krishna, and seeking his blessings, we too will be sanctified. We intend to depart for his pilgrimage soon. It would bring us great joy if you, a devoted servant of Sri Hari and ruler of the Kannada Empire, accompany us. This will also contribute to your and the empire's well-being. Overjoyed, Achyutadevaraya replied, Mahaswami, I wish to embark on this journey with a limited retinue. I will make all necessary arrangements for the journey, ensuring that your divine presence, along with the great institution, accompanies me. If you could select an auspicious time for our departure and guide us, it would be most convenient. Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu said, the day following Gita Jayanti on Margashira Shukla Trayodashi is an auspicious time for the journey. Achyutadevaraya, delighted with the chosen date, promised to make all arrangements for the pilgrimage and departed for his palace after receiving sacred Phalamantrakshite from the Guru. In Udupi, the tradition of Ashtamata heads performing Sri Krishna's worship, teaching and preaching duties for 2 months each had been 2 years each had been had been followed until 1532. During this time, Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu, while studying all scriptures under Sri Vyasarajaru, received a suggestion from his Guru. If the Paryaya, it was worshipped for 2 months before. If the Paryaya, the tenure of worship, is extended to 2 years, it would allow for enhanced and special service to the deity. It would also provide ample time to conduct teachings and preachings activity, undertake developmental works at the Matha, and allocate 14 years for travel, spreading the philosophy and visiting holy places. If you find this idea suitable, you may implement it accordingly. The advice deeply resonated with Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu. He replied, Gurudeva, as my Paryaya is approaching, I will proceed to Udupi immediately, consult with the other Matadipatis, that is head of the Matas, and endeavor to organize the Paryaya in alignment with your suggestion. With Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu's blessing, Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu travelled to Udupi, held discussions with the other heads of the Ashtamata, and initiated the 2-year Paryaya system, starting with his own term. He made preliminary arrangements and decorated Sri Krishna Mata, Sri Sodev Mata, and the Ratha Bidi, that is Car Street, with green arches, festoons and flags. After preparing everything for ascending the Paryaya Pita, he sent an invitation to Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu and Achyutadevaraya, requesting their presence at the grand event. The news that Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu, the Rajaguru of the Kannada Empire, a preeminent scholar and head of the grand lineage of Sri Madhvacharya, along with the Kannada Emperor Achyutadevaraya, would attend the Paryaya, spread quickly. This attracted tens of thousands of Sri Krishna devotees and believers from all over to Udupi. To welcome Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu and the Emperor, Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu sent scholars, religious leaders and officials of his Mata, accompanied by ceremonial honors, Purana Kumbha, a sacred pot, and auspicious music. They awaited their arrival near a green evening pavilion set up in Udupi, prepared to extend a grand reception. In a short while, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu arrived alongside the Emperor, captivating everyone's attention. Accompanied by all the dignitaries and titles of the grand lineage of Sri Madhvacharya's Mahapita of the Kannada Empire, The procession included rows of elephants, camels, horses, and soldiers in uniformed ranks. Officials of the Parayaya Matha, representatives of other mathas, scholars, devotees, and believers welcomed them with Purna Kumbha, that is sacred pots. In accordance with Sri Vadiraja Tirthuru's wishes, the procession was grandly adored. The Paryaya Matha's golden planiki was decorated with the idols of Sri Mula Gopala Krishna, Pattabhirama, and Veda Vyasa Deva, carried reverently in procession. Sri Vyasaraja Tirthuru was seated in the Mahapita's golden planiki, while Emperor Achyutadevaraya rode a beautifully decorated white horse. The procession began with officials of Parayaya Matha and two leaders fanning chamara, that is royal fans, accompanied by musical grandeur, Haridasa bhajans, Vedic chants from scholars, and recitations of honorary titles. As the procession moved from the borders of Udupi towards Sri Krishna Matha, tens of thousands of people lined both sides of the street, clapping, shouting victory chants, and showering flowers and fragrant petals. At every step, women raised auspicious lamps and performed Mangalarati. Citizens and religious leaders offered floral garlands. When the procession reached Rathabidi, that is Car Street, the heads of the 7 other Ashtamata welcomed Sri Vyasaraja Tirthuru and the emperor. The emperor dismounted his horse and humbly served his guru by fanning him with a golden-handled chamara. Sri Vyasaraja Tirthuru, seated in the planiki, was carried to the grand entrance of Sri Krishna Matha. Sri Vadiraja Tirthuru, who had been eagerly awaiting his guru's arrival at the Krishna Matha, became overwhelmed with joy upon witnessing the grandeur and divine presence of Sri Vyasaraja Tirthuru. Inspired, he began singing, "Here comes Vyasaraya. Is it Vyasaraya approaching?" to crush the pride of the wicked before him, with his lord Sri Hayavadana reigning supreme in his palace. The magnificence of that moment and the heartfelt devotion made the occasion unforgettable, with all present awestruck by the divine display. Overcome with emotion upon seeing his guru, Sri Vadiraja Tirthuru rushed forward and prostrated himself in reverence at the feet of Sri Vyasaraja Tirthuru. The guru, filled with affection, embraced him warmly, tears of joy streaming from the eyes of both guru and disciple. Witnessing this profound bond of love and devotion between the two, Emperor Achyutadevaraya was astonished. Thousands of onlookers, moved by the touching scene, exclaimed, "Ah, what a guru, what a disciple. We are truly blessed to witness this sacred moment." Following this, Sri Vadiraja Tirthuru blessed the emperor as he bowed in reverence and offered his hand to lead him to Sri Vyasarajaru. Welcoming the emperor, he guided him to have the divine darshan of Sri Krishna. Filled with bliss after the darshan, Sri Vyasaraja Tirthuru, overwhelmed with devotion, recited a hymn. He then bowed in reverence to the Lord. That day, Sri Krishna was adored in the Mohini, that is, enchantress form. The magnificence of the decoration left all the devotees spellbound. Sri Vyasaraja Tirthuru, captivated by the divine vision, stood in awe of Sri Krishna, who dazzled in the Mohini form, enchanting the entire world. In that moment, it appeared as if Lord Vishnu himself was revealing the Mohini form he had assumed during the churning of the ocean, that is Samudra Mantana. The Lord began to smile gently, as if acknowledging his devotee's devotion. Inspired by this divine experience, and extraordinary Dandaka composition poured forth from Sri Vyasaraja Tirthuru's heart, describing in intricate details the divine beauty of Sri Krishna's Mohini form that he witnessed that day. With the grace of the fresh jasmine, champaka, and mallige flowers, adored with a radiant crescent moon and sun upon the crown, the flowing locks of hair fall gracefully over the forehead. A musk tilaka mark enhances the forehead, complementing the elegant ornamentation. The beautiful, sharp arrows of Mandana's bow are outshone by the gleaming, captivating bangles that mesmerizes the world. The reddish glow of the eyes, the charm of intricate anklet designs, a pearl-studded nose ring glitters, adoring the divine form. Sri Vadiraja Tirthuru, Purandara Dasaru, and Sri Vyasaraja Tirthuru listened with devotion, captivated as Sri Vyasarajatirtharu sang, describing the divine Mohini decoration, when the verse, adored with radiant crescent moon and sun upon the crown emerged, Vadirajatirtharu and Vyasarajatirtharu were astounded by poetic brilliance. They immediately closed their eyes in deep meditation, their hearts visualizing the sacred form of Sri Krishna as described by Sri Vyasarajatirtharu. In their meditative state, they saw the Udupi Sri Krishna standing as described by Sri Vyasarajatirtharu. Gradually, their vision shifted to the celestial Mohini form of Sri Hari, reminiscent of the Samudra Mantara era. Smiling gently, this divine vision filled their hearts with ecstasy, and tears of joy streamed down their faces as they beheld the unmatched beauty of this sacred form. They were overwhelmed, feeling their lives were fulfilled in that blissful moment. As Sri Vyasarajatirtharu continued his song, the description grew more vivid. The lips shine like red coral, teeth sparkle like pearls, the glow of the cheek resembles the radiance of a crescent moon, the graceful neck adored with strings of pearls and rubies, precious gems and garlands of sandalwood mark the divine chest, the arms like majestic pillars adored with golden armlets and jeweled bangles, radiate strength and grace, and as if protecting the universe itself. The waist is encircled by a golden belt, its ornaments glittering with every movement. The anklets and toe rings emit a melodious sound, as if celebrating the divine steps. The lotus feet, marked with the divine signs of Vishnu, stand firm, crushing the serpent Kalinga and protecting devotees. These are the feet that trampled the wicked Kauravas and uplifted the virtuous. The feet that are worshipped by the divine queens and sages reside eternally in the hearts of true devotees. Sri Vyasarajatirtharu concluded his hymn with reverence. Namo Namo to Sri Krishna's divine lotus feet, which reside in the heart of Sri Madhvacharya and bring eternal peace to all devotees. The listeners were mesmerized by the poetic splendor and spiritual depth of Sri Vyasarajatirtharu's composition. The vivid description of Sri Krishna's Mohini form left everyone in awe, elevating their devotion and making the moment truly divine. After singing, Sri Vyasarajatirtharu once again prostrated himself before the Lord, folding his hands in reverence. Sri Vadirajatirtharu exclaimed, Gurudeva, today, by your grace, we were blessed with the darshan of Mohini herself. We are truly fortunate. Sri Purandaradasuru smilingly said, even this humble soul has been blessed, Mahaswami. Sri Vyasarajatirtharu lovingly looked at both of them and remarked with a smile, for poets and seekers, it is natural to find joy in serving the lotus feet of Padmanabha, who resides in the lotus of the heart. Following this, Sri Vadirajatirtharu distributed prasada to Sri Vyasarajatirtharu, the emperor, and a retinue before leading them to the assembly hall. The hall was packed with the heads of all Udupi Matas, political leaders, scholars, devotees, and disciples. Once Sri Vyasarajatirtharu, Sri Vadirajatirtharu, and other Udupi Matadipatis and Emperor Achyutadevaraya took their seats, the assembly commenced with Vedic chants. The leaders of the Udupi Mata warmly welcomed Sri Vyasarajaru and the Emperor, delivering speeches in their honor. Sri Vadirajatirtharu, the presiding Paryaya Matadipati, then delivered a heartfelt address. He extolled his guru, Sri Vyasarajatirtharu, praising his unmatched wisdom, devotion, renunciation, penance, love for his disciple, dedication to protecting the empire, literary brilliance, victories over rival philosophies, establishment of the Dvaita philosophy, affection for scholars and dependents, and commitment to the welfare of the world. He also expressed his deep gratitude for the presence of the Emperor Achyutadevaraya at his request and offered respectful salutations. After this, Sri Vyasarajatirtharu gave an inspiring discourse, highlighting the importance of dharma and devotion. Emperor Achyutadevaraya concluded the event by expressing his heartfelt gratitude to the presiding Paryaya Matadipati and Sri Vyasarajatirtharu for the grand welcome extended to him and his retinue. With this, the program came to an end, leaving all in attendance inspired and fulfilled. After the welcome ceremony concluded, Sri Vadirajatirtharu held a private discussion with his guru, Sri Vyasarajatirtharu, and Emperor Achyutadevaraya. He then personally escorted the emperor to the grand mansion prepared for his stay and instructed the officials to ensure his comfort. Following this, Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu arranged for Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu to be accompanied by the main administrators and scholars of his mata to the Sri Rajendra Tirtharu Mata, which had been specially decorated with devotion. Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu himself bid farewell to his guru, and at the grand entrance of the Krishna temple, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu then proceeded to his mata and rested. From the following day, as per Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu's guidance, Achyuta Devaraya organized a series of grand festivals and ceremonies dedicated to Sri Krishna for about a month. This included offering of priceless jewels, wealth, gold, silver, garments, and vehicles to Lord Krishna. The Paryaya Matadipatis and other Udupi Mata heads were honored with special Pada Puja, that is ceremonial worship of their feet, and offering of alms. Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu himself was worshipped by the Mata officials and the emperor through Pada Puja and presented with generous gifts of wealth, garments, and ornaments. The Ashtamatas heads also concluded Pada Puja for Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu and offered similar gifts and alms. The emperor and his retinue were treated to grand feasts and hospitality. Each day, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu performed a grand Mahasanstana Puja in the hall before Sri Krishna after offering worship, presenting offerings, and performing Mahamanglarati, while singing praises in a state of blissful devotion. Thousands of Brahmins and married women received sacred water, that is Tirtha, and Prasada. Grand feasts were arranged daily, and the monks of the Ashtamata sat in the designated areas to accept alms. The festival included gatherings where Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu presided over scholarly assemblies, discussions, and student examinations. Devotional activities led by Sri Purandara Dasaru, such as bhajana, dances, and lectures on the literary works of Vyasa and Haridasa were held. Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu's sermons, cultural events, and the celebration of various Sri Krishna festivals created an atmosphere of unparalleled joy and grandeur. The splendor and divine experience of this celebration, witnessed by the people of that time, were truly indescribable. Those fortunate enough to see these auspicious events were indeed blessed. On the final day of the scholarly assembly, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu, presiding as the head, delivered an enlightening address, praising Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu for his extraordinary qualities of knowledge, devotion, renunciation, and unwavering Guru Bhakti. He expressed his confidence that in the future, Vadiraja Tirtharu would refute opposing philosophies, establish the Dvaita philosophy, and uplift both scholars and the common people through his literary contributions. His words filled everyone with joy and inspiration. In his concluding speech, Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu highlighted his deep devotion and respect for Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu and the lineage of Sri Harivayu. His every word reflected his profound admiration for his Guru. Additionally, Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu extended the traditional honors accorded to the heads of the Udupi Krishnamata to the Mahapita leaders of Sri Madhvacharya's lineage. He also bestowed unique honors upon his Guru with heartfelt devotion, pleasing everyone in attendance. At Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu's request, Achyuta Devaraya made generous endowments of villages, lands, and resources to Sri Krishna and Paryaya Pita of Sri Sodemata. The emperor also donated liberally for the development of Sri Krishna Mata, supporting food donation and special festivals. These acts of devotion by Sri Vyasarajaru and the emperor, along with their reverence for Sri Krishna and their commitment to Sri Madhvacharya's birthplace and work, deeply moved Sri Vadiraja Tirtharu. The other Udupi Matadipatis and religious leaders who celebrated them with immense joy. After residing in Udupi for about a month, Sri Vyasaraja Tirtharu, fulfilled and blissful after offering the darshan and service to Sri Krishna, departed for Vijayanagar with the Mahapita entourage, accompanied by Achyuta Devaraya and his retinue. Hari Om. Om Sri Krishnarpanamastu.